we're just driving away to my house with knowing our parents are dead behind us and our whole lives shattered.
Two sisters have been forced to navigate life without their mom and stepdad ever since they were killed by a drunk driver 3 years ago. Now they're hoping their story and ongoing trauma deters people from getting behind the wheel when they shouldn't this holiday weekend. Good evening, I'm Gabriela Mirando. Amanda is off tonight. 44-year-old Rachel Sutton and her 55-year-old husband James Sutton, who went by Howard, were driving through a Coles County intersection when they were fatally hit. One of their daughters watched the whole thing just a few hundred feet behind. It was a rare occasion for Rachel and Howard Sutton.
My stepdad never wanted to go out to eat. And he decided, he's like, let's go to Mexican.
The couple got in one car and their then 16-year-old daughter, Aurora Gordon, in another. She was driving behind her parents when she saw it. A car headed for a MATTOON intersection that didn't look to be stopping.
I start to slow down, and that's when it had struck my mom's car and flipped it. And at this point, I'm probably 500 feet behind them, and I pulled over to the side of the road.
She couldn't believe what she was seeing.
I saw every single flip of this car in slow motion. I heard nothing, like my ears didn't work, but I saw it. It was like a movie.
After calling 911, she called her older sister, Shelby Thomason.
I'm like, hello, and she's like, it's so traumatizing. Like, it's so embedded in my brain. That call is something I will never forget, the way that she was screaming, like, Shelby, Mom and Howard were hit. And I was like, what do you mean they're hit? Like, what do you mean? And she was like, they were hit.
Thomason met Gordon at the crash site, not knowing much, but hoping for the best.
We're sitting there, there's tons of people around us, like, just trying to calm us down. The cop ends up coming back up to us, and he goes, I'm gonna need you guys to sit down for this information. And we knew what that meant.
Now 19-year-old Gordon moved in with 27-year-old Thomason the day of the crash. The memory of it all continues to haunt them as Gordon battles PTSD and Thomason the anxiety and fear of something similar happening again. She
was having very, very, very bad panic attacks, like almost every other day, and we even had to call the suicide hotline a few times. She was in the hospital a few times because of it, because that trauma it's real.
The two say while everyone makes mistakes, there's no excuse for getting behind the wheel drunk.
I see it all over social media as people making jokes about it. It's not a game. This is not a joke. Like, people actually die because of drunk driving.
They know all too well what can happen if drivers choose to be reckless.
I think that's the biggest thing, is just to be aware, be cognitive of what can happen, whose lives you can affect, whose lives you can take, and the trauma that comes along with that for other families, but also yourself.
Coles County deputies say two people were in the car that hit the Suttons. Douglas Wilson Jr. was the 19-year-old driver. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison last year after being charged with aggravated DUI.